This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else.
How the Pi network is getting adoption in the US, as US government considers Pi network vital to securing global economic position. In a remarkable but unverified post, reports suggest that the US government may be extending support towards the integration of Pi network into the country's financial payment system, acknowledging its potential role in securing a competitive position in the global digital economy. While an official endorsement has not yet materialized, Pi network's development is increasingly seen as a game changer for financial technology, promising a decentralized digital currency accessible to millions. Let's just imagine, should a major economy like the United States show explicit support for such an accessible platform worldwide? Pi network's easy-to-access framework is not only attracting users worldwide, but is also stirring interest as a potential financial infrastructure for faster, safer, and lower-cost cross-border transactions. Now here's why governments are considering blockchain technology. Across the globe, governments, fintechs, and regulatory bodies are increasingly looking at blockchain as a strategic asset to strengthen national economies. In an era of economic uncertainty, blockchain is often seen as a solution to some of the critical limitations of traditional financial systems, which can be slow, less transparent, and vulnerable to fraud. The US government and other major economies are increasingly exploring blockchain because of its core strengths. It offers unmatched transparency. Transactions are permanently recorded and verifiable by anyone, making fraud much harder to conceal. It provides decentralization. Control is spread across a network instead of sitting in one vulnerable point, reducing risks from hacks, failures, or abuse. And most importantly, it delivers accessibility. Platforms like Pi Network bring digital finance to people who've never had a bank account, using just a smartphone and no technical know-how. Pi's simple, mobile-first design makes it especially appealing in both rich and developing countries, which is why governments focused on financial inclusion and economic growth are taking notice. In short, more open, more secure, and far more inclusive. That's why blockchain matters to serious institutions today. Now let's discuss the role Pi Network could play in global economic leadership. If Pi Network's model continues to develop and gain widespread adoption, it could provide a significant boost for countries that support it, giving them an edge in the competitive global economy. With a growing network of users, transactions and financial exchanges could become more efficient, accelerating the transfer of goods and services globally at a reduced cost. As the United States examines blockchain innovations, including those as accessible as Pi Network, it could be positioning itself to lead in the digital finance revolution, helping to maintain economic competitiveness in a rapidly evolving financial landscape. The reduced barriers to entry could stimulate economic activity on a massive scale, especially as more individuals gain direct access to a new community-driven form of currency. Pi Network's ability to foster fast, affordable transactions between millions of people represents a tangible opportunity for global economic alignment, and its utility could create a new paradigm in cross-border commerce. If the US and other economies leverage such technology, they could make significant strides in expanding digital transaction capabilities beyond the limitations of current systems. Let's look beyond the speculation. While the potential US backing of Pi Network remains speculative, it speaks to a larger trend of interest in decentralized finance, especially with the promise of inclusive financial platforms. Governments across the world are recognizing that innovations like Pi Network might not just be fleeting experiments, but transformative technologies that can adapt to the needs of a globalized economy. Though Pi Network's journey from concept to widespread utility is still in progress, its implications for the future of finance are profound. With a decentralized network open to millions of people, Pi Network could indeed play a crucial role in shaping a more inclusive, efficient global financial ecosystem. Whether the US government formally supports Pi Network or not, its growing importance within the digital economy, combined with its ability to democratize access to financial resources, makes it a noteworthy contender in the world of global finance. Only time will tell if Pi Network becomes a central player in this new economic age,